Hello and welcome back. Today is Saturday, February 28th. I have your 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. We get a 6-game NBA slate, a weird one to say the least. Our day kicks off here at 12 o'clock Central Time. We get 2 primetime games. I wish these primetime games were just a little better. Wish there was someone in the late game playing in the game, but we overall have a pretty good slate overall. We get one or two pretty bad games, but mostly one. But the late night bad game is a massive over-under, and our day starts off here at noon. Portland versus Charlotte Hornets, 228 over-under. Charlotte, 7.5 point favorite in this matchup. I think Donovan Clingan is still potentially he's a game time decision. I don't think Donovan Clingan will be playing in this game with an illness, but this is the battle of Scoot Henderson versus Brandon Miller. Hand up, I was a Scoot fan coming out of college, but now I'm a Brandon Miller guy. This is going to be a fun one to see these two players go at it. The Hornets were right. They should have just taken Brandon Miller. Hand up was still on that Scoot Henderson being like, Portland's an idiot. I'm an idiot. That guy back then was an idiot in that one. But this game should be a ton of fun. We get to see Con Knipple early on here, who's been lights out from 3. We get to see Portland. There's no Denny in this matchup. Portland's just a Scoot Henderson and Drew Holiday show in this matchup, and Jeremiah Grant and Kamara. Portland's a fun, scrappy team. Hopefully they win this game. Hopefully it's a close game overall. For our second game on the slate, 2:30 on Amazon Prime, should be a pretty good game. I would say Houston versus Miami, 225 over under. Houston 2.5 point favorite in this matchup on the road. Kevin Durant going into Miami. I think he hasn't played there this year, so they have yet to play this year. So this should be a great matchup. There's no Norman Powell in this game, so Tyler Herro gets a nice bump in this game. So Bam Adebayo, he can quit crying about being the play-in. He could just be like the Bulls and just sell off, talking about how he hates playing in the play-in. Me too, man. That's why I'm happy my Bulls team decided to tank. Maybe you should have told the Miami Heat to tank or trade you away in the trade deadline, but this game should be a close battle as the spread shows, but should be the Tyler Herro. Can he get the revenge game from last year, how he got clamped down by Ahmed Thompson? I think he does here today. We get Toronto versus Washington, an ultimate tank commanding game if I've ever seen one. Well, yeah, Toronto, tank commanding game, but Washington, they're the 4 seed. They've had 16 wins on the season, playing a nice Toronto team, and this spread's one of the biggest spreads on the slate. Toronto, 13.5 point favorite, 227 over under. Washington will gladly lose this game single-handedly. We get Lakers versus Golden State is the other primetime game on ABC. We all wish Stephen Curry was playing. It is Luka Doncic's birthday. They're spamming all the Luka Puka Doncic that you should be taking all of his overs in this game. But I like watching the Draymond Green versus LeBron James show. Those two guys are buddy. Should be a good time watching that game. Watch out for Brandin Podziemski. Maybe he has a nice little triple-double in this game. He's been pretty great these last few games overall. And then we get Pelicans versus Utah. They're running it back from the other night. 245 over under. If I could whistle better, it would have been a better whistle than that. 245 over under. Pelicans 6.5 point favorite. Pelicans, this is the ultimate tank commanding game. Both of these teams have 18 wins on the season. I bet Utah will gladly lose this game, as New Orleans Pelicans, watch out, have won 3 straight games. They're 5 for his last 5. So Utah will gladly jump up in the Tankathon rankings. They'll go from 6 to 5. Pelicans, they'll move down with 19 wins on the season. I bet Utah would be very happy with that outcome. But a 6-game NBA slate. I got 4 brand new plays. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action and yesterday in the NBA. Hey, ended up going 0-3 in best bets. Was just fucking awful, man. One of those days, just Duncan Robinson. I think he took 9 threes in the game, made 2, fouled out in overtime. I wasn't thinking that he was going to do it in overtime, so I'm not going to cry over that in that one. But Duncan Robinson, he tried his hardest to hit the over, but he was missing so many shots early on. He hit 2 clutch threes late in the game, but that was pretty much it in that one. Ryan Rollins was off to a hot start, 10 quick points, but that game became a quick blowout so fast. He finished the game with 18 points, assists. Nikola Jokic, man, hey, I doubted him in this one. I was pumped. I saw a lot of other gambling Twitter or YouTubers talking about Nikola Jokic under, and I was pumped because I got a great number on it, or we got a great number on it, and Nikola Jokic had an insane game. That game was incredible, so I'm not mad. Last night's primetime games were incredible. I was at the DraftKings Sportsbook here in Chicago. not the best sports book, I would have to say the least, waiting for Bally's to open up. They pretty much, you can't do anything differently from your phone and the DraftKings Sportsbook. You can't even bet on Illinois college basketball at the kiosk there. So you're there. You can't even get any promos when you're at the kiosk. There's literally no point of walking up to the kiosk. But I digress. 0-3 day, but today is a brand new day. I'm feeling good and feeling great on this Saturday. And let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day, going to be in this Houston-Miami. I got 2 plays in this game since the early game. I'm just not fully sure. Would love to take Brandin Miller over points early on since this is the battle of the 2 picks. But Charlotte has a lot of good players on this team, so I could just see them everyone being consistent and solid in this matchup. But I'm going to this Houston-Miami Heat game, 225 over under Houston, 2.5 point favorite on Amazon Prime. And I think this man at the center position, there's no Steven Adams, there's no Jabari Smith taking rebounds from him in this game. So I think Alperen Sengun has a great rebounding day ahead of him. So give me Alperen Sengun to go over 9.5 rebounds, come in minus 104. On DraftKings, Miami on the season allow the 6th most rebounds to the center position, and they have 2 players on their team that like to hang out closer to the rim, so I think he has an opportunity to grab a few more boards in this one, and it shows. He's gone over 3 for his last 3 against Miami, averaging 12.7 rebounds per game. With the last 3 games against Miami, he's had 10, 18, and 10 in those 3 matchups against them, which we love. And Sengun to get a double-double is minus 120. So if he's going to get a double-double, it's going to be in rebounds. And if he's going to do that, I would gladly take the rebounds at minus 104 versus him to get a double-double at minus 120. That was my whole overall logic in this one. And he's been pretty bad with the rebounds here in this matchup. Last few games, he's been pretty awful. 2, 6, 9, 13, and 6 rebounds. But the potential rebounds are there, averaging 16.4 potential rebounds per game. And now he's lost Jabari Smith. He's played 1 game this season without Jabari Smith in the lineup. He had 11 rebounds in that game with 17 potential rebounds in that matchup, which we love. He's played the last 4 games without Steven Adams and Sengun. You have to look back to last season, but last season in those games, he had 11, 8, 10, 10, and 3 in those games. So I love that overall consistency without those 2 in the lineup. Sengun versus bottom 5 defenses this season. He's had pretty good games overall, having 13, 10, 11, 6, 9, 8, 13, and 13 rebounds. So he's had quite a few rebounding games against teams that struggle versus the center position like Miami does, and they allow 6th most rebounds on the season to them. And centers versus Miami recently have had some pretty big rebounding games. Embiid 11, Simons 10, Nurkic 16, Sarr 12, Queta 11, Vooch 10, Rob Williams slow-mo 10, Sabonis 10, Post 9, Horford 8, Chet 11, Mark Williams 14, and Chet again at 10 rebounds. I have him projected here at 11 rebounds in this game here, starting our day off early and hot with a nice reboundings prop. So give me Alfred Sengun to go over 9.5 rebounds, coming minus 104 on DraftKings. Jumping to the other side of the ball in this lineup. With no Norman Powell, I'm an all systems go on Tyler Herro. I think Tyler Herro makes up for last year's game. I took him over in this matchup, and he did not do well. He's been a different player this season. He's taken 15-plus shots in every game but one. No Norman Powell. I love the volume. I like the opportunity in this game. So give me Tyler Herro to score 20-plus points, coming max 125 on FanDuel. He has a 100% hit rate versus teams that are top 5 versus this shooting guard position. So when he plays a tough matchup, he steps up his gameplay overall, averaging 22.3 points per game, having 24, 20, 23, and 22 games in those 4 games. He's playing teams that are top 5 versus spot-up shooters. He's actually had pretty good games overall as well. 67% hit rate versus teams that are top 5 versus spot-up shooters, averaging 20.7 points per game. Now no Norman Powell in this matchup, so I think he gets a nice, even more of a bump in the minutes department in this game. Last 4 games versus Houston, he's had 28, 17, 27, and 8 in the most recent matchup. But these last 5 games, he's been pretty consistent overall. 22, 24, 14, 14, and 25 in the most recent matchup here overall. 73% hit rate on the season, averaging 21.2 points per game. 86% hit rate at home, averaging 22.6 points per game at home. So he's been great at home all season long. 67% hit rate without Norman Powell in the lineup, scoring 19 plus points in every single game without Norman Powell in the lineup. So we love that. He's averaging 21 points per game without Norman Powell. Has taken 15 plus shots in every game this season but one. That one game he took 14 shots. So we love the shot volume that we're overall getting from Tyler Herro in each matchup. And one thing Tyler Herro loves to do that Houston struggles, he loves to go in the paint and do his nice little floaters. Tyler Herro is a great floater shooter in the NBA. He takes 38% of his shots in the paint. We're doing those nice little floaters, and Houston ranks 24th in points allowed in the paint. So overall, he has a nice paint option in this game. Shooting guards versus Houston have had some pretty big games if you look at it. Desmond Bane last night, 30. DeMar, 15. Clifford, 15. Shamet, 14. Isaiah Joe, 21. Derek White, 28. Castle, 16. Harper, 16. Naismith, 17. So shooting guards have had some success versus this Houston Rockets defense. That's tough. I've projected here at 22 plus points in this game. So give me Tyler Herro on this Saturday to go over 19.5 points, coming minus 125 on FanDuel. Jumping to my third play here, this Lakers Golden State Warriors matchup. 230 over under. Lakers 4.5 point favorite. And this man, he's almost flirted with the triple-double these last few games, and now he has a great matchup against this Lakers team. Yes, he didn't get the over last time they just recently played, but ever since that game, Brandin Podziemski has been a brand new man, and I think today he has a great game in the rebounds assist market. So give me Brandin Podziemski to go over 10.5 rebounds assists, coming minus 126. On DraftKings, the Lakers, they allowed the most assists and the fourth most rebounds to this point guard position. These last 15 games, they allowed the fifth most assists and the sixth most rebounds to the point guard position. So this is a great matchup for Brandin Podziemski, where he's gone over 2 for his last 4, with the last 4 games him having 15, 14, 9, and 10 rebounds assists against the Lakers. But the potential assists are incredible, having 25, 24, 11, and 20 potential assists in the most recent matchup. These last 7 games, he has turned it up a notch, playing 27 plus minutes in every single game these last 7 minutes, playing 30 plus minutes in 6 for his last 7 games overall. So he's been getting plenty of run these last few games. The last 5 games overall, he has had 5, 7, 15, 15, and 8 rebounds, and having 2, 6, 7, 9, 3, and 6 assists in his last 5 games. Last 4 games, he's averaging 27, 36, 30, and 29 potential assists and rebound chances in each game. Last 2 home games, he's had 13 and 24 rebounds, assists, and those having 27 and 36 potentials in those 2 games. He's been a different man these last few games, and it shows. 4 for his last 5, averaging 15.2 rebounds, assists per game. I have him projected here at 12 rebounds, assists in this game. And point guards versus LA have had some pretty big rebounds, assist games. Peyton Pritchard, 12. Derek White, 13. Dunn, 13. Brandon Williams, 12. Cason Wallace, 10. Maxey, 13. Brunson, 20. White, 11. Marshall, 13. Harden, 17. And LaMelo Ball, 17. I think Brandin Podziemski starting in the lineup as this point guard has a great game. He's been rebounding the ball very well, and I think today, with this being a nice plus assist matchup, I think today he bounces back after last game only having 10 rebounds, assists. I think he gets 12 in this matchup, because that's why I have it projected at. So give me Brandin Podziemski to go over 10.5 rebounds, assists, coming last 126 on DraftKings. To jump into my fourth and final play of the day in this Pelicans Utah Jazz game. 245 over under. Pelicans 6.5 point favorite in this game. And this man, he's coming off of his second best career game in his life, and he gets them again in this matchup here today. I'm jumping back in, so give me Saddiq Bey to score 20 plus points, coming minus 128 on FanDuel. The Utah Jazz, they allow the second most points and the most threes to the small forward position. The Utah Jazz, these last 15 games, allowed the most points and the most threes. Then these last 7 games, they allowed the second most points and the fourth most threes. And he's coming off of a 42-point game against the Utah Jazz, the second best game in his career in this game. And you might be thinking, there's the Jazz, they're gonna figure it out, man. This is a back-to-back. Players don't go back-to-back overs in it. That's not true. Klay Thompson this year in 3 games has scored 23, 26, and then 20 in those 3 games. He played 1 back-to-back against them and scored 23 and 26 in both of those, splashing 6 threes in both of those games. He's gone over 7 for his last 10 road games, averaging 24.3 points per game. 83% hit rate without Trey Murphy in the lineup. With no Murphy in the lineup, we love that, averaging 24.2 points per game, scoring 18 plus points in each game without Trey Murphy this season, which we love. Utah is 30th versus spot up shooters, where Bey gets 23% of his points from that spot up motion. I have him projected here at 24 plus points in this game. Just murdered this team the other night. We're all saying Bey cashing this late night play for us. So give me Saddiq Bey to score 20 plus points, come minus 128 on FanDuel. And those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. I always love to tell you guys in the comment section an interesting 5-game or 6-game slate. I think it's 5-game slate here today. No, 5-game slate here overall. Weird that the NBA is going this late. Tomorrow is going to be Sunday Mayhem. We have a full slate of Sunday games, so hopefully you guys are ready for that. But today, we get to enjoy these 5 games. Hopefully you're having a wonderful Saturday. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one.